What do you mean you don't like this? Like, what's wrong?
Just go. I don't know. I'll figure it out along the way.
It's
All right,
okay. It's okay, Bird. It's
let
okay.
me roll. Let me roll some shit
The
real quick.
fact I don't even know what I'm even like I don't know anything about my character.
It's okay. It's okay, Bird.
I don't
Yeah.
like this.
It's because you're new, okay? It's because you're new.
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying it's because you're new. It's because you don't know much about your character. Okay, it's because you're new.
Everybody shut up.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying it's because you're new.
Alrighty then.
You don't know much about your character.
Okay.
It's 'cause you're new.
Everybody shut up. Oh, wait.
Why is it repeating everything? Make it stop.
I have YouTube on in the background. Monitor everything. Alrighty then. Well, this is better.
Did you fix it?
Yes, I fixed it. I muted it. And now I should take a banana candy and eat it.
What?
I have a banana candy in my mouth now.
All right. Um, don't
Well,
really know how to start this off. I know how. I just don't know how to put it to words.
my
I guess
life.
each of you roll a history check. Do a history check real quick.
What's that? Inform me
Bert,
along the way.
Bert, scroll over to the thing that says like it's just a blank table. It's like a white table with a whole bunch of things that say like survival, perception, athletics, and stuff like that. You'll find history in there, and you'll find your number that you need to add. Roll a
Okay.
d20 and then add that number to it.
21.
Total?
2. 1. 21.
You got a total of 21?
23.
Oh, okay. Everybody got super high numbers.
Not me. I got 11.
Oh. Well, I mean, you're all in the same boat, so.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though with my character being my character.
Anyway, so all three of your characters have been hired by a patron. You've been hired by a faction of humans to eradicate two other factions of humans, the rival factions of them.
That sounds a bit mean, but okay.
They're paying you 1,000 gold pieces.
Just go with it.
They're paying you each 1,000 gold pieces
Oh.
Ooh.
to infiltrate and destroy both of these factions.
Depends on how strong you are.
As long as it is done before the end of the year, they are happy. So because both of you succeeded on your history check, you know that... What the hell is that noise?
Bird.
It might be me. I don't know.
Jesus. Anyway, because both of you succeeded on your history check, you know that all three of these factions have basically just been lost in history. They're in a secluded mountain range. So there's a circle of mountains that surround this massive area. And in this area are three factions that make up a kind of triangular shape. One is a crafting faction, one is a fighting faction, and one is a trading faction. The trading faction has asked you to infiltrate and eradicate the other two factions because they want to assume control of the other two factions. Because who the hell is watching that?
It's disrupting everyone else.
It's angry me. Anyway.
You go watch it in another room. Please.
Anyway, back to what I was saying.
I'm getting yelled at by them. Okay.
They've told you that these two factions are comprised of greedy politicians who just want to get the most money they possibly can. And that this faction that you're working for now wants to assume control of these two other factions so that they can bring peace to their community and prosperity to their people. That's why they hired a paladin. And, well, Leaps, the kobold, just kind of showed up. And they hired a scholar. Well, not a scholar, but they hired a wizard, a high elf wizard, because they needed someone of intellect to deal with the politicians. So, you've been sent in to infiltrate both factions. Now, which one would you like to infiltrate first? There's the crafting faction and the fighting faction.
I'd like to go after the crafting faction first.
Yes, crafting.
I guess I'll go with the crafting faction.
I guess it's a majority vote. Crafting faction it is. So,
do we need to give logic behind our choices or no?
What do you mean logic?
Is that a logical answer?
You can act however you want. I mean, your job is to infiltrate and destroy these factions. If you want to run in there and just start firing spells everywhere and set the damn place on fire, I mean, I guess you could do that. But I mean, that's not really what you should do because you'd probably get taken down pretty quick. Your little killing spree would end pretty quickly. Depending on if you can, I guess if you got criticals on every single thing you did, I guess you'd survive. You'd stay alive. Anyway, so you've chosen the crafting faction. They're color-coded. The fighting faction is red because a long time ago they thought, why make our damn flags yellow if they're just going to get covered in blood? Because
that's a great reason.
People used to attack this place a long time ago, but no one has even entered this place in so long. They don't get very many visitors.
Where's Cameron hiding at?
They only trade under an alias, so no one knows that it's this place that they're trading with. Because if they did, then they would most likely attack because they have the most goods in all of the land. Because they have the strongest fighting faction, their crafting faction has been crafting for hundreds of years, so they're the most skilled that you'll find. And the trading faction is comprised of some of the smartest politicians that you'll find. So you know this is going to be a pretty difficult job to infiltrate these mountain men of just intellectuals and infiltrate them and destroy two different factions so that one of them can assume control of the other. It's going to be kind of like the judicial system going against the military system. I guess
that's one way to put it.
So, the war faction or the fighting faction or whatever you want to call them, you can call them whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But their color code is red. You'll see them wearing red ribbons, red armor, red capes, red flags. It doesn't matter. As long as they're wearing red, you know they're from the fighting faction. The trading faction is blue. And they have a specific symbol. I can't show you the symbol or describe it to you because it's a pretty intricate symbol. But I'll show you some other time. but you recognize this symbol, and when you see it, I'll tell you that it's there if you see it again. And the crafting faction is yellow. They don't have a symbol, and the war faction doesn't have a symbol. The trading faction has a symbol because other kingdoms need to recognize this symbol so that they don't shoot the other ships down. So the crafting faction is the one who crafts all the items. They can craft major magical items, potions, and armor that you will not find anywhere else. And, well, custom items are some pretty popular things. But the fighting faction is your real problem. They are some of the strongest warriors you'll find. So, but she chose the crafting faction. So, the patron has sent you a map. Right now, you're all at a table in a tavern, going over the plans on how to get to this place, because it's surrounded by mountains. It's a literal circle of mountains that the mountains go up to the clouds and are covered in snow. And the bottom of the mountains are covered in sharp, jagged rocks that no other climber has been able to climb. Hence why you have a map. So the patron has told you that to follow this map, it will take you 2 days to get there, and most likely some climbing supplies. So I want each of you to go ahead and roll a d12, or go ahead and roll percentile dice to see how much gold you have.
Which one is that?
It's the d10 with the tens on it, and the d10. Roll those together, and then you combine the numbers to make a percentage. Like I just rolled right now. I got a 40 and a 4, so I have 42.
61.
Wait, so both the 10-sided dice together, just roll them?
No, you have like a 10-sided dice, but it has like 10, 20, 30.
Yeah.
That, and then you take the actual d10 and you roll those. So let's say I got a 20 and I got a 9, so I have 29.
I got a 50 and a 9.
So 59. So add that
I
on
got
top
a
of
90
your
and a
gold.
3.
You got a 93?
Yeah.
Nice. Add that onto your gold. Each of you add those numbers into your gold, and then tell me your total gold.
Ooh.
I have 64 gold.
$116.
Jeez.
I got good roll.
Wow, good job.
What did Bird get total?
93.
Well, add that onto your actual gold. You should have in your character sheet, you should have where it says your rate, your alignment. If you scroll down, it'll say GP.
Yeah,
You see it?
and it said 0, so I had 93 in there.
What?
Yeah, basically.
You're lagging. Hold on. So
Yeah,
you just deleted the number and put 93?
Yeah, it was 0. Like I had no gold.
Okay, that works. So you have received, each of you has received that much gold from your patron. Or you received that much gold, all your gold combined total, but that's how you split the gold among your group. So, right now, you don't really have any supplies to go to this place. So, would you like to buy supplies before you leave, or Most likely you'll need climbing gear, so that's probably a must-have, unless you guys want to roll strength checks out the ass.
Yeah, I'll probably need supplies.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
might be smart.
It's not gonna be that dumb.
Alrighty. So, you guys want to leave this tavern and go out to the street to look for a shop?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So as all three of you walk out of this tavern, in single file, actually, each of you roll a d20 and tell me which number you got.
13.
Oh crap, I dropped it. Hold on. 10.
What? What did she get?
Bird, can you repeat, please?
I'm gonna shoot myself. 10.
Okay, so Skittery and Bird both rolled a 10.
No,
No, I rolled a 13.
I got a 10.
Okay, so because she's a dragonborn, or is your character a she or he?
He.
He. Because he rolled a higher, or because he's bigger than you, you're just gonna walk behind.
That's fine with me.
And this is how the turn order will go in for speaking as well. So, hold on, let me write this down.
Yeah, I gotta real quick make up a voice for Lupin because, yeah. I'm gonna mute myself for a second and real quick test out voices, find out what I like best.
All right, I guess do that.
Okay, I picked out a voice for her.
I just realized I haven't chosen any spells to prepare for the day.
Yeah, even one.
You could choose that after you go into the shop because you don't know what you want until after you get your equipment.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, so Lupin, as you walk out of this tavern, you look around. Go ahead and roll perception to see if you can, or investigation actually, to see if you can find a shop.
I got a 7. I hate these dice.
A total of 7.
Yes.
As you look around and you ask people and you end up with no luck, you are back to square one. You walk back to the other two and you say, well, your turn. And you slap, what is your character's name, Bird?
Way's the first.
Huh?
Sir Fart Face the first. That was a great name.
You really? Is this really what?
Yes. First name that I thought of.
I don't want to call you that. I don't.
Then just call me.
Call you. Kieran, your name is.
I thought it was great, honestly.
Why don't you just call her character Sir Face?
Your name is now Kieran.
Stop.
No, you have to say my character's name right. It's Sir Fart Face the first.
I will not call you the first because that is a title, not a name.
Well, you know what? I put it in there, so therefore it's my name. Maybe I just had really terrible parents.
Slaps him on the You just slap him on you slap him on the arm and say, "It's your turn, Farface." All right, you want to go ahead?
I don't know how we're gonna get through this with the amount of
Do you want to
With
roll
Bryce.
for investigation?
Yeah, sure. Why
All right. Go ahead, roll investigation.
not? 23.
Total?
Yeah.
Nice. As you look around, you ask people, you get directions to a shop. You walk back to the others and tell them, and I guess, do you both want to go along, or?
Yeah,
I'll
wait.
go.
I have a real quick question. How
Hmm.
tall is Bird's character?
I have
That's-
no idea.
That's
Don't
up to
ask
her. Dragonborns could be up to 8 feet tall.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know anymore. Can I figure
just
that out
say-
later?
We'll just say 7'4", or do you want us to decide later?
I guess I'll be. Yeah, let's just go with what you said, 7'4". Why not?
7'4" and because you're a high elf, Trenton, you'd probably be normal human height, maybe a little bit taller. So I guess like
5'6", or is that tall?
maybe 5'7".
Okay. I'm going to sound crazy, but this is something I feel like this character would do. Can I make an athletics check and jump up onto her shoulder?
Go ahead and roll acrobatics, I guess.
Why can't I just change it to 6 foot? So that I'm not actually the same height of what I actually am.
I have the worst luck ever. I got a 5.
All right, I guess. You want to be 6 foot, or do you want to be 6'7", or?
I'll just be 6 foot.
All right,
That
6
just
foot it
makes
is.
me feel tall. Make me feel tall. I love feeling tall.
I mean, 7 foot is taller than 6 foot, but you know.
I have the
Well,
worst
I
luck
don't-
ever. Got a
I don't
5.
feel like being climbed on like a jungle gym.
I mean, 6 foot's still pretty fucking tall, considering that Lupin's height is 3'5". You're twice her size. Well, so you still rolling that acrobatics check?
I got a 5.
Okay. You fall flat on your face.
I'm just gonna rub my nose and follow her silently.
Anyway, so you all go to this. You follow the directions that one of the people gave you, and you end up at a shop. The sign says open, and the billboard type thing that's above the window, it has a sword, a shield, and a potion in like a kind of laid out format. You know how a shield goes and crosses a sword, and that's how it.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a shield with a potion symbol on it with a sword through them both. So you know that this is a shop.
It's a
Yes.
shop.
It's a shop. Whoa! Didn't know
I did
that.
not know that. Wow.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
My eyes have
Sound
opened.
like a little kid.
Anyway,
That's not her voice, trust me.
so you want to assume the regular order, or are you following Bird in?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them both in. I'm gonna be a back.
So the turn order has switched. So Bird, as you walk into the shop, it has what?
Continue.
Okay. As you walk into the shop, it has shelves with just random items just strewn about. They're not necessarily in like a mess, but they're not necessarily organized either. You've got swords right next to potions, shields right next to armor,
Well, that makes kind of sense,
sitting
actually.
on history
That sounds
books.
sad.
You've got a dagger sitting on top of a spell book that's sitting on top of a history book that's on top of the helmet.
That. How did they balance that?
We don't know.
Magic.
It's magic. Sorcery.
It's magic.
Ho, ho, ho,
I'm
it's my
sorry, what did
day.
you just say?
That is amazing. Yes. I never miss an opportunity
Great.
to make a song joke. What?
Honestly. Anyway, so as you walked in the door, there was a bell above the door that rang, and an old man, like a generic type of wizard-looking guy, with one of those long-ass beards, just
So get in there.
hair, face full of hair, and one of those pointy hats,
Not get in there, fight.
walks out and is like,
I'm
He's
stupid.
Bigfoot.
"Oh, we have customers today." He walked out as a the hell?
You okay?
Hold on. Someone walked into my house.
Hello?
Anyway, so he walks out into the front room of this store, and he has a pile of 6 books floating behind him. And then they set themselves down onto the table. And he says, "What do you have today?"
I think I just want some climbing equipment.
Yes.
Oh, God, please stop.
That's so
You
scary.
sound like
Please
Gollum from
stop.
Lord of the Rings. God, we do not need. We don't need.
My
We
precious.
need someone who has a normal voice.
You sound like a little kid.
Be a high pitched voice. Just don't make him sound like you're fucking gonna eat your face off and then steal your ring.
Hey, Skittery.
Do that.
Skittery.
Jesus, stop.
Hey, Skittery.
Yeah.
Say Gollum's line, but using that voice.
Please. You know what? If you're gonna use that voice, I need to get you a ring.
I feel like
Anyway.
they should have put a ring on it. I'm sorry. I could not pass up the opportunity to sing that. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I choose a different voice for Lupin, or is this okay with you?
That was pretty good. Anyway.
I know, right? I'm super proud of myself for that one.
Yeah, each of you go ahead and roll perception, because I hate calculating passive perception.
Why? What is it? You're just lazy, aren't you?
Hey, I got a 15. Yay.
You want to add your perception onto that?
Yeah,
I got a
it's 0.
17 plus 4, which is, I don't know, 21.
Should I roll perception too?
That's a total of 21.
Should I roll mine too?
Yeah.
I can do simple math sometime.
My precious.
Oh my
What did you
so
roll?
scary.
Or Lupin?
You know what's funny? It's every time I do the voice, like I have like my fingers, like all like my fingers all spread out, and so I keep like tapping my hands together with like my fingertips are like tapping together the entire time.
God damn
Cat,
it.
what are you doing? Cat's gonna use me
So
as
what
like a
did you-
freaking like
What did you
hill.
get, Lupin?
What are you
Who?
asking?
Yeah, what did you roll?
Who?
You. What did you get total?
I got 15 because I got a plus 0.
Okay, so
I got a 23.
okay.
I got a 21.
All right.
What's with everyone else getting 20s and I'm just getting these low
Lupin
numbers?
is the only one that fails, and she was the only one I wanted to succeed.
Oh gosh, dang it.
Would one of you like to fill her? Would one of you like to point this out to her, or before I?
I will.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So,
What are you doing?
stop! You sound like one of those jockeys from Left 4 Dead 2.
Lupin's crazy, okay? I'm pretty sure.
Oh
Who's
god.
got the problem? Stop. Anyway, so Roumarou points this out, and he says, "Look at that ring on his finger. Isn't
Oh
it
my
odd?
God.
As you,
Did you just point the ring out to a crazy person?
he's just slowly deteriorating into like a granite.
I'm slowly melting into a puddle.
Turns into a potted plant.
The sad part is that can't happen.
Anyway, so you all three look at this ring, and it's just a normal golden base as the ring, and it has a ball, like a red kind of shimmering orb attached to it.
Lupin's gonna point to it and ask,
What's that? What is it? What is that?
My precious.
My precious.
My precious.
Is
Oh
it
God, that's
Is it-
scary.
precious? So, as you point to this and ask him, he says, "Oh, this is my Philosopher's Stone."
Oh my God, Harry Potter up in this joint.
He says it took him almost his whole life to make, but now his lifespan.
Oh my
is
God,
indefinite.
philosophers. It's Harry Potter.
He told him it
What?
took him almost his entire life to create it, but considering that I had the Philosopher's Stone, my lifespan is now indefinite.
Oh, that's a little interesting now, isn't it?
God damn it.
Can someone tell her to calm down?
Yes, please stop huffing and puffing when you do that. Just say it once in the grimy voice. Don't kind of stutter. Just say it once.
That's so scary.
It is. It's just it's not even.
drink of water as you guys said that.
It's just kind of annoying at this point.
But she does sound crazy this way, so I'm gonna stick with it.
I mean, you'd sound
have
crazy
to.
if you're like, "How much is the ring?" Instead of sound like you're about to like you're about to choke on like a fucking gumdrop or some shit.
I can see Lupin turning into like a werewolf or something like that eventually.
A werecat turns into a werebore.
This is sounding like too much like Harry Potter. Frickin' Lupin turning into a werewolf.
Yeah. Anyway.
What do you mean? Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is. So he looks back at you after staring at his ring for about a good 5 seconds, blankly, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot you were there. What would you like today?"
Lupin's gonna stare daggers at him for a minute and then just look around the shop.
Is his name Nicholas Flamel?
Maybe. His name might be Nicholas. You don't know that. You haven't asked his name yet.
Sir, what is your name?
The name is Tim.
Flamel. Nicholas Flamel. Oh my God, I can't even. I'm done.
And my voice isn't helping anyone.
No, it's not.
Nah, please stop. But so he asked what you would like today. What did you say you were doing to him with the daggers?
I was staring daggers at him, I was delirium.
Oh, why didn't you just say you were staring at him instead of staring daggers? I thought you were pointing a dagger at him.
Because it has a different meaning if you say staring daggers instead of just staring. Has different
Whatever.
meaning. Okay, Lupin,
Please stop.
let's not stop.
Anyway, hold on. I hear someone on my stairs.
Hello, it's a soccer. Your
I
everyday.
love how people love to move around in my kitchen.
It's Lupin on the stairs.
Oh my God.
Why can I not access the call to mute myself?
Let me see if I can mute you real quick.
It doesn't matter. It's not like
Yeah.
you're gonna hear me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever.
Green.
So what are we gonna buy?
I was actually going to ask if the old man's name was Dumbledore.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Or,
Yeah, but Nicholas
feel
was
like
the one that's the first stone.
I
or
feel like
Gandalf.
if anything, I'd be the basilisk in this entire like situation.
Why?
What'd you say? You talked really fast.
I feel like I'd be the basilisk in this situation
Why?
because I want to kill everyone.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
He's like, oh, okay. If we're creating this into Harry Potter, we need a Harry Potter. Like, someone needs to play Harry Potter, the douchebag.
So where's our wizard? We need a wizard here.
No.
Where's the
No.
wizard?
Oh wait a minute, we have a wizard. Remember?
No. No.
Remember?
No.
Hello, Harry. Is that you?
No.
What are you guys talking about?
Riveroo is Harry Potter,
No.
the douchebag.
God, stop that voice. Anyway, I'm back.
Oh my goodness, wait, I'm Yoda.
So, he asked you what you guys want. Who is rolling that? Stop.
Sorry. Like, I had my phone far away from it, and then he's like, "Who's rolling that?" And I put my phone right up against it and rolled it.
All right. So, what do you guys want?
Didn't I just? That's the first thing I said.
Oh yeah.
I
He
needed
forgot. He was staring deeply into his ring.
no. I said that I needed hiking gear, and then you just completely you're just like, oh look, he has a ring.
Yeah.
Let's get some rations and
Oh my God! No one has that bad of a stutter. Nobody.
What if I'm saying this is just me stuttering as I think about what I'm thinking?
God damn.
That's not very nice, Bryson. You're not very nice. Jeez.
Dude, it's just the fucking voice. It gets me every fucking time.
It's just like my freaking name, honestly.
What was your name again?
Fart
It
face.
was Sir Fartface the First.
And your voice just sounds like nails on a chalkboard combined with a stutter that makes it last like 2 minutes.
Oh, I could be so mean and I can learn a voice and then just be like the most annoying voice ever.
Stop.
I will.
Get some help.
Thank you for stopping.
I'll make it like an Australian voice, maybe.
No.
Oh heck yeah.
Can we
Anyway,
continue on with the story?
anyway.
we should get some rations and some climbing gear and a whole bunch of like that kind of stuff and it'll be really good.
Or like
God,
hiking
yeah.
gear.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh my God.
Oh God, Lupin, are you okay? Are you a little
No.
loopy today?
feel like she's
Guys,
having
I just made a joke. Did you hear me, Kat?
Yes.
Yes, I thought it was a great joke.
I heard it. Please never say that joke again.
Your fucking voice keeps on
Yay!
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you lift me up onto your shoulder so I can get a better view of everything? It'd be very nice.
Lupin, I'm a boy, but sure, why not?
Okay, yay!
doesn't understand the concepts of penises.
Okay, wait, I have to ask this question. Is Lupin a boy or a girl? Because I have no idea.
Lupin's a girl.
Because every time I hear Lupin, I think of the werewolf off of Harry Potter.
Ah,
Professor Lupin, is that you?
She is though.
anyway,
Okay, so
So-
Lupin's on my shoulders now.
you can look at. So he brings out climbing gear, or he waves his hand, and climbing gear, a pile of climbing gear in a bag float out onto the middle room where you're standing, and they just drop to the floor.
Oh, that's not very nice.
He says,
Great dragon.
if you'd like to investigate the gear or examine the gear before you buy it, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll make an investigation check from up here.
From all the way on top of a 6-foot tall person.
Without being able to open the bag or unravel the rope or anything, just I guess
gonna look at it.
I guess just roll sight.
I'll also do an investigation.
Okay, since Trenton or Roumarou can actually open the bag and look at the gear, go ahead and roll investigation.
Okay, for my perch up here, I got a 16.
19.
Total?
Yeah, total.
Okay. So Lupin just looks at the gear and says, "Yep, that's climbing gear."
It's like, yep, that I can confirm this.
Yep, that's a hook, that's some rope, climbing gear.
I don't even think my character would need it considering I'm like 6 foot. I don't think that would.
Well, I mean, you can still fall.
I don't think it would really hurt a 6 foot tall person though.
Oh, being tall doesn't make you strong, you fuck. So, Roumarou looks at the gear and uncoils the rope and stretches it out to see how long the rope is. You have about 50 feet of rope right here. And then he opens the bag and he sees like spikes that you can stick into walls to hang on to.
Climbing spikes.
Yeah, climbing spikes that you can just like stick into the wall and hang your rope onto to hang there.
Let me call some pittance.
You see a couple pickaxes and another coil of rope, and it has marks on it. It's about 200 feet of rope and a giant coil, but it has marks on the rope so you can cut the rope in specific lengths.
Woohoo!
So it has it at every 100 interval or every 50-foot interval, so you can cut it into 4 pieces.
I would like to ask how much the climbing gear is.
Well, that'll be 50 gold.
How much have you included the ring?
This ring is priceless.
Please, no.
If I
His whole
take this
life.
ring off, I'll die.
Lupin, you just don't ask that.
It's all right. I mean, there's been a lot of people that are curious.
Lupin's eyes are just like little stars right now. She looks at that ring, just like, I can kill a person really easily.
No.
I would like to ask the teammates if they're willing to split the price, because that's basically all my gold.
I can pay for it. I have a lot of goals.
I have a lot of shinies. I have a lot of preciousness. So, are you guys willing to split it 3 ways, 2 ways, or 1 way, or what's going on? You guys decide that. I'm not going to decide.
Lupin is completely willing to pay for it.
Well, just let her. She can pay for it. She's got this.
All right, that's good.
All right, wait. Can I real quick act this out?
No.
What do you mean, act this out?
She's gonna use the voice.
The gold? Because I have something I want to do with this.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Please stop. No. It's scary.
All right, I guess it's just going to be a conversation between me and you because the other characters aren't going to talk.
So Lupin's going to climb down and go over to the counter and take out her little bag of gold and one by one set each single gold piece on the counter.
The shopkeep is just watching each gold be set on the counter. As it goes down the line all the way to the end of his table, and she comes all the way back and starts from the beginning again and just keeps counting.
Okay. Good.
And then
good
after I place all the gold, I want to go back and I want to count every single one of them to make sure I got the right amount.
He's just watching you
You get it wrong and then you completely start over.
So he just watches you count the gold, and he's just kind of like, he's not mad. He's not he's kind of just concentrated. Like he's actually counting with you, just like watching you count the gold.
She's like a 5-year-old. She's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
64.
What?
Apparently she's 65 or something.
Oh my god.
Let's see here. 64 on the dot.
Good job.
Jesus. 64-year-old child.
I've been living as a hermit for like 30 years. This is probably normal.
You should probably be smart for this then.
Not a very wise hermit.
Honestly. And the fact that you're 64 years old, professional child. Anyway, so
Wait for me in battle.
Huh?
Wait for me fighting.
Oh no.
What did you just say?
Wait for me when I fight.
Oh.
Oh god. That's
Anyway,
terrifying.
so after you count the 50 apiece, he's like, would you like anything else?
Oh my god.
Do you have any dried meat or anything like that?
He says, let me check. And he closes his eyes. And he just
How long?
we just
Well,
sit-
yes.
he just closes his eyes and we just sit in silence for like a couple seconds.
Oh.
And he starts like rocking back and forth, kind of almost as like he's falling asleep.
Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna start reaching for the ring.
Hold on. There's someone moving around again.
Well, tell him to stop.
Okay, I think they're gone. Anyway, so as you start to reach for the ring, his eyes open and like a very loud voice says, "Yes, we do have meat."
And then
then-
I'm going to reject my
And then
hand.
he waves his hand again, and the meat in a bag of meat, a bag of wrapped meat. You can smell the meat and smell the salt of the salted meat.
Smell it.
Just in
My
a
eyes have just gotten 2
in a
times bigger.
cloth sack, just floats into the room and smacks down on the counter.
My eyes have just gotten 2 times bigger.
Yes.
How much?
So,
Well, with the meat, we also could probably need some. Since it's gonna be kind of like rations, we'd also need like not just meat, but other things, you know.
Like eggs or something else that tastes delicious? Maybe
So-
like
like survival D&D?
Well, if we're going to be on the road for a while,
So you want to get rations for everybody, or like you just want to get like a whole bunch of rations, or what are you saying?
just a whole bunch of rations that do not consist of only salted meat.
Yes, that makes sense. And he says,
Lupin would just eat anything, so.
because you have climbing gear, I assume that you're going into a mountain as well. You
yes.
probably want to have some fat with this meat because, you know, protein poisoning. He closes his eyes again.
I don't think I don't think kobolds can get protein poisoning. We really just eat anything we can find.
That's a little concerning.
How are you alive?
I don't know.
He kind of flicks his,
She
he
just
kinda
goes over to
flicks
the
his-
side of the road, grabs a handful of rocks, and just eats it.
Just the grape eats glass.
Protein.
He kind of flicks his wrist and a kind of almost like a peanut butter jar-esque looking, kind of like a mason jar of just white, like solidified fat,
Oh.
like animal fat, just kind of
Mhm.
floats in and sets itself down next to the meat.
Well,
Well, that's a bit better, but we also... Do you have any... Well, actually, do I have a canteen on my character already? I want to
You
check
have
that.
what did you say about a canteen?
Hold on, I'm checking my character's... Okay, yeah. Do you also have canteens we could get?
Let me check. Closes his eyes again. And as he closes his eyes this time, he's quiet for a lot longer. He's just kind of rocking back and forth. And then his ring starts to glow bright red. And then he opens his eyes and his ring stops glowing. And he's like, yes, we do. We have 3 in stock.
oh, okay.
Can we
take those 3?
can we do a quick pause?
Yeah?
Because I gotta do a real quick
Mhm.
thing for Dad.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so I'll be right back.
Anyway, we'll just continue. So, so as he waves his hand and the canteens float in, they all 3 just set themselves down. Just and then he says, "Huh?"
I was about to ask the price, but continue.
He says, "How are all of you gonna carry all this? Because the meat is about the bag of meat. It's about the size of Lupin's head.
I have a backpack, so I have a backpack and a couch.
It's about the thing is about the size of your backpack. What the hell? Lupin can like."
We could.
Lupin could wear your backpack.
Oh my
as
god,
a hat.
he's dying.
Oh,
We could probably
how's
just
my
split it. Each of us has a little bit in our bags.
Well, it's
So
it's in
after
the,
he hears you guys kind of just arguing about like how you're gonna hold all this, he says, "I have something for that," and he reaches underneath the counter and pulls out a tiny bag. Or he pulls out a bag and
Oh
kinda
my
sets
god,
it
I
on the
know.
counter.
I think I know what it is.
And then he puts the canteens in it first. And then he grabs the jar of fat and puts it in there. And as he's setting them in there, he's setting them straight in. He's not like organizing them or anything. He's just putting them in. Like he put the canteens straight up. He just set them in there. And then he put them all stacked on top of each other in there. But they're not sticking out of the bag. And then he put the jar in there. And then he grabs the sack of meat. He opens the bag and he just pours the meat into it. He says, "This, my friends, is a bag of holding. This ought to help you on your journeys."
Oh, that will help immensely.
Yes. Yes, it would. That is why I recommended it.
How
Potter accepts this.
how much would all of this cost?
Oh, about 100 gold pieces.
Well, I'll pay 50 of it if
I will pay the other 50 for you. How about that? We'll
thank you,
split
because
it.
I don't have 100. I only have 64. So
So the climbing gear's already
I only
been
have
paid for.
93.
It's about 100 gold pieces for this bag of holding and all the stuff that he put in it. So
okay.
Okay,
So
so
you
me and
all-
him will split it 50-50. So I pay 50 gold pieces and then Rumuru pays 50.
okay,
There we go.
let me record your gold. What was your? Wasn't your gold 93, not 94?
93. Yeah, did I say 94 by accident?
No, I may have wrote down it by accident.
Oh, yeah, it was 93. Now it's 43.
And Rumoru's gold is 14, and Lupin's gold is 66. So he asks, "Would you need anything else,
That
or will that
seems,
do it for you today?"
that seems to be
I think
about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I just had a thought.
Mm.
We have no way to cook any food we find along the way, and no way to filter any water we find along the way.
So like no pan or anything to cook the food on.
And no way to
So like
That's a good
no
thought, my
water
boy.
filter.
well to
So, as
To
you say
filter
that, he says, well, I might have just the thing. And he lifts the hand with the ring on it, which is his left hand, and he clenches his fist, and the ring starts to glow, and then a cube floats into the room and sets itself down on the counter.
Oh.
And he says, this is a Haven cube. It's one of my latest inventions. I put an entire house inside this cube.
Oh.
oh
A
To the
house
power
would be great.
alchemy, transmutation, and a lot of damn time. Cast a sanctuary spell on this cube and fit a house inside this cube. So basically, it's Pandora's box. If you
Is
open
it a 2-story house or just a 1-story?
it's a 2-story house, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom.
Basement.
Yes.
Just like a full furnished basement.
Hold on.
Turning your phone into the password. Your phone. Enter your card.
Oh, fuck. Hold on, guys.
Well, where'd it go?
I have to leave the
She's
key.
in the bath.
Oh.
Because mom wanted it.
Right now? All right. I gotta go real quick, guys, because I have to put like these cards on my phone so I have minutes and texts.
oh nice.
Yes. I will have my phone back in a couple minutes. So can you go ahead and like exit me out of the call and then add me back in like 20 minutes, or will that be the end of our game?
That might
I don't
end up being
know.
the end of it for now.
Yeah. My phone's on 21% and it's already 9:48.
Okay.
All right. I guess we'll end the game there.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect
We
timing
should
for me.
We'll catch you up, Skittery.
Okay, yeah, can you? I'll end the broadcast here. So, thank you
All
for
right.
tuning in, everyone, and goodbye.